All right, so Travis Brown, Horror Movies Uncut, Submissions and Slashers, continuing my interview coverage from South by Southwest. Now, there's a film that I believe played yesterday, Glorious Summer.
Yep.
At South by Southwest had its screening down there. Now, I meant to ask you before I started recording how the screening went, but guess what? I'm putting you on the spot. I'm recording you. How did the screening go? How did everything go with the Glorious Summer screening?
It was really good because we really enjoyed the Q&A session after the film because it's, because the film itself is super like minimalistic and kind of silent, so you don't hear much of an audience reactions.
Right.
So we weren't that sure if they liked it. But then during the Q&A we kind of felt that okay, they enjoyed it, they stayed. Some group came from the other screening that was playing simultaneously, so we were like, okay, they liked it if they came to hear what we have to say.
That's great.
So it was really, really good, and we are looking forward for tomorrow.
So Bartosz, if someone was to walk up to you on the street and you had to give like a quick pitch about what Glorious Summer is about, how would you relay that to someone?
Well, I'd say Glorious Summer is the plot is three women living in this Renaissance palace, and everything is taken care of. They have they're provided with food, with wellness affirmations all day, wine, and it's sunny all the time. So it's kind of a safe abode, but then questions start to arise if living in this sort of perfect space is enough to fully experience life. And, in the briefest way possible, the whole film is about overcoming the anxiety or fear of the unknown and whatever is outside of a wall, whatever that wall might be for you.
Yeah. And Helena, there's definitely like a village type vibe that you kind of get from the film, because you know that the three women are like truly searching for whatever it is, these disturbances that they're seeing and visualizing. And I think you guys do such a great job of like allowing the audience to really just be with the women and not really allow them to know what's going on as well. So that's like a great point in the film. But I'm curious to where the origins of a story like this came from, because it really almost feels like in enclosed fairy tale where we're watching like these three encapsulated characters that are not allowed to escape. And we've seen these in things like Under the Dome. There's writers that have written a lot of great stuff that kind of show these characters, but I'm curious to where this particular story comes from, because it has its own very feminist driven layers attached to it. So I'm kind of curious of where this came from.
Well, it was kind of a complex process because we started that project with a theater play a couple of years ago, and it was made for the Shakespeare Festival in Poland. Okay. And back then it was like kind of inspired by Richard III by Shakespeare. Okay. But it was like it was our fantasy about that play and about the time after he got the crown. And we did that performance, and then a couple of years later, we found that location that immediately took our hearts. And we thought that, well, what if we take, that play and put it into that location? And naturally, knowing that we want to make the film, we thought that, okay, now we have to take out the context of the Richard, because nothing that will, it's not universal. Right. So we kind of left only the characters and the dynamics between us. And then all of the system we decided to base on that mindfulness, wellness stuff as a baseline.
And Bartosz, was that the intention too, was to kind of bring that futuristic, almost like Jetsons style living of, well, this is what I want tomorrow. So like, was that something that was initiated from the start? Was it kind of woven into it as you guys were creating the process?
I mean, we were kind of thinking like, what would be a modern day regime, so to speak, that would like, what would be the tool set to make someone stay in one place and not ask questions. And we were just wondering, like, would it be a place that actually like constrains you in a literal way and punishes you, or one that actually gives you everything you want, and serves you food, gives you wine, gives you peace, and you know, this nice constant feeling of, I don't know, joy, safety. So that was we sort of wanted to explore that, and then ask the question if that is enough for the full human experience. Like at some point you will have to ask a question or confront something you don't know, or be interested in whatever is outside, and what is this thing that you are being told is dangerous,
right?
But then, like, on the other side, I love that you recalled Jetsons, because
every time people do stuff like that, that's what I think of. Even when the first time I saw Clueless, and Alicia Silverstone's like going through her outfits, like that makes me think of Jetsons, and I kind of got that same vibe when the three women were going through their affirmations and things. So because we wanted the place to be, because the location itself, it's kind of a period place, let's say. So we wanted to contradict that with you know, all that modern silver stuff. That's you know, the altar, the place that they were, the place in which they get stuff for them. Yeah, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but the whole time I'm watching the film, I'm like, where are the I don't see any closets. Like, so there's a lot of great mystery and intrigue in the film, which I think a lot of people are going to really embrace. But I think probably one of the most important things to talk about is the styling of Glorious Summer, because, you know, even the marketing for the film mentions how it's this sun-drenched film that allows these three women to like embrace this playground that they get to live in. Like how did you know that was going to be the location that you wanted to shoot? And then what were like, because it does feel like you're watching a play when you're watching the film. So I totally get like the Shakespearean route, but I'm curious to like the styling of the film, your cinematographer, like what was the more references and things, inspirations that were used to kind of create the look of this film? Because I think that's something that stands out on its own.
Well, we from the very start, we knew we wanted to shoot this on 16mm film. Just because it has that instant look that we wanted, and it has all those imperfections and the texture. That's something that we're looking for, because we wanted the film to feel sort of out of space and out of time, and 16 has, you know, that quality to it. And then, you know, we also did we knew we wanted this location. We did a music video there a couple of years ago, and you know, and we also kind of we also shot it on film, and we used the location as sort of this backdrop against just, you know, some people walking there. And shout out to the people who we did the music video with, because, you know, that they gave us some sort of indication of what we can do on location, and then basically we get together with our DOP,
Tomek Woźniczka, amazing cinematographer.
Yeah, and we just,
amazing job on the film.
Basically, I guess if you approach any DOP and tell him, let's do a feature film on 16, he's like, not gonna say no. But then we had a very nice creative process where we went to the location for a couple of days.
Spent a week there with our DOP, creating kind of a Bible for us.
Making a book, if you may, for you guys.
I actually made a whole storyboard for that.
Okay.
So later on, we had really fast tempo because we were shooting something around 8 scenes per day. So it was super fast.
Oh, okay.
We had to be really,
Wow, there's a lot of space in this movie for you guys to be to shoot that many scenes in a day, because it seems like the film does a great job of just encapsulating so much space that you wouldn't think. It doesn't feel like a rushed effort on any account. So that's
14 days.
Yeah.
So we got to thank the editing and all that stuff for that as well, too. So.
But also a lot of preparation. So basically, we really had to. One of the factors was the timing. We didn't have a lot of time, but also we were shooting on film, which is a thing of its own, where you really have to plan ahead. Because you do 3 takes, and you have to move on, because there's limited a limited amount of material. You can't redo stuff forever, because there's no hard drives. It's all there. But then, But the process within that limitation, there is also a lot of it is magical, and I really it's really shooting on film is a very different thing, but very rewarding, and something that we really love, because the whole process is very focused, and we focused.
What I liked in that process was also that from the very beginning, we knew that we don't want to shoot it in a classical way, let's say. So it's not wide shot, then one portrait, the other side, and we're done. We were kind of looking for a language, so we decided to use, for example, zoom lens for a lot of scenes that are dialogue scenes. And we were shooting them at a distance. And so it was a really good job with.
I think it shows that you both are really true fans and students of film. I mean, I think that's what really speaks volumes when you're watching the movie. But I'm curious, because I know, and I'm only gonna ask you guys a couple more questions. I don't want to take too much of your time. But I know Polish people from the UFC, because I work with some UFC fighters. So I know you guys have some people who know how to fight from that country, but I don't know too much about the filmmakers from that country. Tell me, what kind of filmmakers are coming from where you guys are from, and what type of movies are being made? Because I'm curious, is anyone else making anything like Glorious Summer back from where you're from?
Well, I'm not sure if anyone is making something like Glorious Summer. Maybe there are. I don't know, but there's definitely great filmmakers coming from Poland. For example, DOP Michał Dymek, who did cinematography for Real Pain, The Girl with the Needle, who, within the Oscar-nominated stuff.
We have an amazing director, Damian Kocur, who's kind of also trying to find his own way within the Polish cinema, let's say.
Or Magnus von Orn, who's the director of The Girl with the Needle. He's not
Polish, but he lives in Poland, and he has Polish background. There's Emi Buchwald, whose debut will come this year as well.
So there is a generation of filmmakers that's making some stuff that that is definitely reaching multitudes of people. So what's something, and to wrap this up with you guys, and once again, thank you so much both for your time. Helena, I'll start with you. What's something you hope people take away after seeing the film? What's something you hope that they take away after seeing Glorious Summer?
I would say courage is the thing. Like to really don't be afraid to, to take the step into unknown and to give yourself space to doubt and to ask like, what if I do something? And then just to give yourself a chance to do it. And that there's no good or wrong. It's just about like choosing whatever feels good for you, because maybe there are some people who would say, oh, fuck the experience, I want to live here and I want to have some wine in my swimming pool. And I
mean, a lot of people would say that. That's
also okay.
I think that's the scariest thing about your film is how many people would take that route. They would just we take that also. So it's really about saying that maybe sometimes it's good to balance things and to also, give yourself the other perspective. Okay, and Bartosz, what about you? What are your thoughts? What is something you hope people take away from the film after seeing it?
Well, I think I will add to what Helena said, and I really do hope someone takes away the courage and the this thought of maybe crossing this metaphorical wall or any kind of psychological border that you might have, and to dare to find out on your own if something really is scary or dangerous, or even if it's the smallest thing, but it can improve your life or your health, whatever it might be, but just to take that step and find courage to see for yourself.
Yeah. And
what for you?
What works for you?
What works for you? Yeah. And Helena, you ladies did fantastic in the film. I can't leave the interview without saying the wonderful job you all did. If we had more time, of course, we could dig more into the characters, but alas, that is what we are going to do for our interview. I really, really appreciate your time. Thank you both so much. Best of luck with the film. I really hope a lot of people get a chance to see this, because I think it's going to be one of the more intriguing and beautifully shot films that they'll be able to see here in the first half of 2025. So thank you both so much for your time. I appreciate it. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Have a good rest of your day.